Hey guys, so for today's video, we are going to be doing a little bit of talking about the Wii U, the NX, and Nintendo coming up at E3, what we kind of want to see for them, like all of that revolving around the NX and Nintendo. So I do have a guest with me, if he would like to introduce himself.
Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Mason, and I'm from the YouTube channel Nintendonewsbymii. I love Nintendo, obviously, just like Christina, and it's gonna be really fun to talk about Nintendo and the NX and the Wii U. So yeah, I'm excited.
All right, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna just go through and talk about the stages of. Right now, I want to talk about the Wii's life cycle, the positive and negatives. Mason, your thoughts? You can go ahead first.
Oh, the Wii U's life cycle. That is something that has been driven to the ground a lot. People say it's like the GameCube 2. People say it's not as powered as like the PS4, Xbox One, which I do agree with. I felt like lately Nintendo's been slacking with it. I feel like they could have done more to get more people to buy their system. But over the 2-3-ish years it's had so far, it hasn't done terrible, but compared to other sales and other things like other companies and stuff, of course it has. But other than that, I mean, it's just I feel like they need to kill it. Let's just be honest. I feel like they should kill the Wii U.
Yeah, I mean, like right when they first came out, Nintendo really tried hard to come out and be like, we're a third party positive console. We really want the serious core gamers. And they had like the Zombie U and they had Call of Duty poured over. And it wasn't like that was a bad attempt, but it's like after it didn't get that initial hit, they kind of reverted back to their Nintendo classics, being kid friendly kind of games.
Yeah.
So that was one thing that kind of, a lot of gamers, they saw that as like, well, what happened to Wii U coming out to being like such a hardcore gamer console?
Yeah.
And I mean, it still was more powerful than the PS3 and the Xbox 360, going into next gen. It was a more powerful console. Yet I think we're at the point of Nintendo's reputation in a way, and like the Wii, it was a hit, but it was a casual gamer thing. I think they need to get back onto being come out with a very powerful console that is going to last for a while and be on par with the Xbox One and the PS4, so it can attract not just the hardcore gamer, but I don't know how I'm trying to put it, but to make sure third parties can make games on your console so that can bring people back to your console for not just the third party games. Then they can also get the great Nintendo games as well and be able to enjoy the third parties that they've been used to, that they usually see on the PlayStation consoles and the Xbox consoles. So I mean, that's one thing that I think has been debated. A lot of people would say, oh, they don't need to have a powerful console because they have just the Nintendo games, but they can't beat all their titles to the death. They can't, like a dead horse, they can't keep using them over and over and over again, because to a point, some people will start to get sick if they see too much of the same old thing. And I'm not saying that their titles and IPs are bad, but I mean, variety is good. Variety is a very good thing.
And the thing is, Nintendo, that's basically exactly what I was going for, like, with my point, like, basically, Nintendo is targeting kids right now. There's all these 10-year-olds, 8-year-olds, whatever, see the Super Mario 3D World, like, oh, I need that. But what is it somebody our age is looking at? They're like, oh, that is something that's going to appeal to everybody my age. We all got to get that. I mean, there's nothing that is... It's third-party support is what they need. Like, they need... Like, what is it? Call of Duty, even. Like, that would attract more people alone if people like the Wii U versus the other controllers better. Or anything that has real-looking people. Like, everything is so cartoony with Nintendo, and they need to broaden that out, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, not restrict that, but just add the variety. And it's not just bringing those games there, but also the features. Like with the Call of Duty version, I didn't play that as much on the Wii U, but like in Splatoon, like that's a shooter game, but there's no like being able to chat. I mean, those features, like you were talking about those features. Did you want to go over that before?
Yeah, basically, everything is stuck in the past with Nintendo. There's no video chat. I mean, of course, that's not a major thing with other consoles now, but voice chat, more specifically, like cross-game party chat, anything that like other companies do, Nintendo hasn't even started doing yet with that. You can't join a party with 6 other people, 5 other people, or even 1 other person. it's always you join, you type on Twitter or you Skype or something, some other alternative that you cannot use through the console. And that's really where they fall, I think, is because interaction with internet people, like that's starting to become a big thing, talking to people online, because you're like growing from this person that just sits with your sister or your brother or somebody playing Mario 64 10 years ago to this person that is exploring the world and meeting new people, and you want to play the games with those people, but at the same time you want to have a conversation with them at the same time. It's hard because you don't have that voice chat, and I think that every system from here on out needs to have it, and it's just they're stuck in the past with that. That's the core thing for me.
Exactly. Like, it's not like, for me, I am an older person and I have friends that have gotten jobs, have moved to different parts of the country. So if I want to sit down and play a game with them with online, I want to be able to talk to them if right in the game, if it's possible. And it's not, it's not, I really feel like that should just be a basic functionality.
I mean, they had Wii U chat, but look where that got them. I mean, I forgot it was a thing till last week.
I actually used that maybe once or twice, and I liked it, but it just didn't stick, and it wasn't that bad of a thing. Like, I thought it was a good feature, but it's just something that I just didn't use a lot, because I'd rather use that in a game. I'd rather be able to, like in Splatoon, like, you want to be able to just chat with your party members and, like, form a strategy.
Yeah, exactly.
It's how you can't read people just from like the booyahs and commands. I mean, because that could mean different things. So what are some positives though that you want to mention of the Wii U? Because it seems like we did a lot of critiquing just now.
Yeah. Well, I think one of the major things is the games. Like, people compare it to a GameCube, which it does have its very good games. I feel like Smash Bros had a bunch of characters that did really well, and I loved it for that. And then there was new things like Splatoon and Mario Maker that did pretty well too. Other than that, I mean, that's really the best experience I've had with the Wii U. It's not like there's a bunch of things that have stuck out to me, like, oh, they need to keep this next time, they need to not change this, anything like that. But more specifically, I mean, the games, they're good, but even now, I feel like they could revamp it more to make it better. And, I mean, I feel like those are the best things that have come out of the Wii U thus far, and I don't even know how much longer it has to live. So, I mean, other than that, I mean, Wii U chat was alright, but that wasn't anything groundbreaking or anything.
Yeah. So now that a lot of people are speculating that this year at E3 they are going to announce the NX. What do you want to see from the NX?
Well, from the NX, I think we need a more interactive interface. Like, the Wii U is simple. It's literally designed for kids. It's easy to navigate. There's parental controls, everything. If you want to keep it simple, have parental controls used for a reason, I think. Like, I don't know. There should be a setting, I think, where you can at least change it to, like, the normal interface they would normally do for the Wii U or 3DS kind of layout. But then I feel like they need to go with something a little more towards the style of, like, PS4 and Xbox One, how it has, like, the, like, Windows kind of look to it, and how, I mean, everything just looks so modern. And Nintendo has a little bubble icons and all that. I feel like they really need to get rid of that. I mean, have a good interface, basically. That's one of the main things they need to look for to make it better.
I like how Miiverse generally is pretty simple to navigate and go around, but I definitely like one of the things that I've talked about with you before, that is missing that they need to definitely update with their Nintendo. It's not just like specifically for the NX, but in general, this would be for the My Nintendo and like any kind of online interface that they come up with, is to have like a reward system the way that the Xbox One has achievements and the PlayStation 4 has the trophies. When I was only on Nintendo consoles, I never thought of it until I actually went and played games on the PS3, on the PS4, and on the Xbox 360 and Xbox One. I was like, oh, like these feel nice. So then when I'm going back to the Nintendo console, I'm just like, I'm feeling, oh, I'm kind of sad, because the closest thing we've only had to that was in Hyrule Warriors, was when you would get certain, like, oh, you killed 1 million enemies or 100,000 whatever kind of enemies. You leveled up your person to 50. You got a medal that was on your Miiverse profile as a post, and I liked that. So maybe I was thinking maybe they either like call them coins or medals, the way that was introduced through Hyrule Warriors, like something of that nature that makes us feel rewarded, although not exactly to the extent of like, oh, you watched, like, I think I was my boyfriend made a joke about like the fact that he got achievement on something for like, oh, you've watched 10 hours of Netflix, or like, yeah, that's not it's like, oh, I've spent that much time on there, whoops. Kind
Yeah.
of achievement, but just like still for your in-game achievements, still a great thing. I think that needs to be introduced.
Yeah, I was gonna say, in regards to that, I feel like the type of things you could achieve, like to get like achievement awards for, would be things that you could unlock further things in the game for. Like certain achievements had things behind them that get you to play them more, to beat that certain goal, clear that level in this certain amount of time, you know, to get more content for the game. Like almost lock it behind the achievements to force you to do better if you want the full like experience. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's kind of like not specifically like because of my Nintendo's not exactly a game, but you know, that kind of thing,
Right.
where reward system, you want to keep playing more and you get something out of that.
Yeah.
One other thing I want to make sure that I do mention, because I don't think I've mentioned this before, but it's something that we've expected from Nintendo consoles, is backwards compatibility out of the gate. And one thing I was kind of like a little irked about was when the Wii U came out and we didn't get like an automatic backwards compatibility with GameCube games, when it felt like confusing for that not to be there, because of the fact that to play Wii games, you had to revert back into the Wii operating system that was within the Wii U. And a GameCube disc is, you know, that's disc based. The only thing really was, I thought, you know, okay, well, we don't have any way to play it because of GameCube controllers, we can't plug that in. But then when they came out with Super Smash Brothers and said, oh, we got a GameCube controller adapter so you can play with this GameCube controller, I'm like, okay, there. And just make the operating system update to do GameCube games, and we never got that. And so I feel like, I mean, the NX, if they did this, could be the ultimate backwards compatibility console, where yeah, they do have some of their recent releases as like from the DS and GameCube and the Wii on the virtual console. However, let the people that already have that discs on the shelf, you know, let us be able to play those, because I mean, I don't want to have to rebuy any of my GameCube or Wii games or Wii U if they do that for the NX, which I don't think they would, because hopefully they do still have backwards compatibility for the Wii U. Like, I don't want to rebuy that whole library or some of those games just to be able to play it on the console. Like, yeah, I can pull out my old console I still have of that to go with that game to go with, like for the GameCube, whatever. I'll just pull out my GameCube, but it's for convenience. Why can't I use all of my Nintendo disc-based games and play them in the newest console? Because if, you know, why not have that backwards compatibility? That would make it one of the ultimate gaming consoles, because that's something that, you know, the Xbox, they added that after the fact. PlayStation is like subscription based, and I'm just like, people don't want to pay more for games that they already have, you know?
Right. And I feel like I understand they're going for the whole digital game kind of vibe, but like you said, getting discs to be able to put into a console is, I mean, it makes more sense, yeah, but it's also a completely different experience. Like, I don't know, I just feel like you're more at home with it versus getting an entirely new game you already beaten practically, and having to rebuy it, having to go through the whole process again to already know what happens, or, you know what I mean? It just feels repetitive, and almost like, if you just pop it into the console, it's like, all right, I'm back to where I was, just continue the journey that I fell in love with before, and just continue on from there. But that's a missed opportunity if they don't do that.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, with that saying that, you know, not just Nintendo, but like, you know, all the gaming industry seems to be going more towards downloads and being digital, which I don't complain about, but you know, because I'm older and you know, we're collectible people. You still want to have something on your shelf. However,
Exactly.
for the people who are digital, 32 gigabytes for the biggest amount for your system. Like on my Xbox, I already need to buy a new or extend like a external hard drive for that. I already need to buy a new hard drive to replace my PS4 because I filled up the space. So we need minimum 1 terabyte. If game downloads a game, if you had to download games on your PS4 and Xbox One, or some of the games on as well as Wii U, like some of those files can get up to 60 gigabytes for one game.
Yeah.
And to give us only 500 gigabytes as a hard drive is not going to last you a generation. So,
and I mean, yeah, sorry to interrupt. I was just going to say, Wii U was 32 gigabytes for the deluxe version.
Yeah.
That's terrible. I mean, this is 2016 now. You're going to get a big 4 games, big whoop. Like, you gotta have more space for more things, and they really just need to work with that too. Like, it's not something that people expect really, but it would be very necessary in the long run. Like, games are getting more and more advanced, they're going to be taking more and more space to download and all that, and it would be nice to have a lot of space.
Yeah, so I mean, like 1 TB, they're already coming out with 1 TB models of the Xbox and PS4. So I mean, with NX, we honestly 1 TB would be perfect. That would be a perfect starting point.
Yeah.
All right, so now that we've talked about things we want to see from the NX, what are you hoping when it comes to Nintendo at E3 when it comes to announcing the NX? I mean, what are you looking forward to that for? Like,
well, I want them to completely ditch the Nintendo Digital event and go full-blown conference on par with Microsoft and Sony even. They haven't done that for a few years, and since the passing of Satoru Iwata, I feel like they should almost branch back out into the stage form, because I feel like, I'm not saying he held them back by any means. He was a great leader and a great person in general, but the way that he did things, I feel like was a little bit unmodern and kind of held, I don't want to say held them back because that's not what he did, but in a way he kind of isolated them they kind of kept them in their own little bubble. Like, this is the thing where only if you like Nintendo you can come watch, you know. But if you're on stage, everybody's sitting there waiting for the next person to present at E3. Like, oh, there's Bethesda, there's Ubisoft, there's Microsoft, there's Sony, all these companies presenting. Where's Nintendo? Oh, they're in their digital event. They're completely separate from the thing that's going on. So I want them to be up there with them in competition, showing off the NX, show everything they can do, and hopefully it's just on par with at least as powerful as PS4 and Xbox One. And if not, well, then they're in trouble. So.
Yeah, because it's not like you said, the competition. The thing is, like, we're not supposed to, in a way, hope that this is like a competition, like promoting like the console wars or whatever. However, in a business stance, they have to, because they're like, Nintendo is always on the stance of, we're not competing with the PS4 and Xbox One. We're doing what we believe is the right thing. However, that is part of why that they're in the situation that they're in right now, is like, you have like a lot of the gamers that are with the PS4 and Xbox One, and like, we were kind of talking about this earlier, like a lot of YouTube channels surround, like, you know, those type of gamers and those type of games. And like, I feel like Nintendo doesn't have as big of a following as that, because like, everybody seems to be on those two consoles and those kind of games. So they need to compete with that, and not specifically like head to head, kind of like, not the old days of, you know, Sega does what Nintendo don't kind of thing. Yeah. Not specifically like that kind of like political war kind of battle, but still compete where you have a product that the consumers in the gaming industry want, not just Nintendo fans, but everybody.
And that's the thing, like, their games are so much different than other companies that they almost hold themselves back because of that. Like, it's the third party that they need to be able to like extend themselves into the other people's like interest market, because with PS4 and Xbox One, they have a lot of the similar third-party exclusives because they're with PS4 and Xbox One. They can get that. But Nintendo and the Wii U, they're like, nah, that's not something I'm really wanting right now. Like, it looks like it's a plastic toy from McDonald's or something, you know. It just doesn't look like on par with what people expect from 2016 or 2012 or something, whenever they came out. And I feel like that's where they hold back. I mean, they need to modernize themselves. That's my main point. They need to revamp and just make themselves known again like they were 10 years ago.
Yeah, and like I feel like something I've seen a lot on the internet when it comes to Wii U and like in the forums and stuff, I would see people is like, the way to go this generation is like, oh, PC and Wii U, Xbox One and Wii U, PS4 and Wii U, like to have it as a secondary console. Because Nintendo's games are not bad. They are polished, they are very good games, but there's only so many people who are going to make sure that they have a Wii U, because there's a lot of people where they can only get one console per generation. And, you know, if you get the Wii U right now as your only one console for this generation, or that's what you did, you know, you probably missed out on a lot of things that you probably would have wanted to play on the PS4 and Xbox One. So, Mason, do you have any last minute thoughts of anything you wanted to talk about that you want to make sure that you mention before we wrap it up here?
Not necessarily. I just want to say that Nintendo is a part of both of us at this point in our life. I mean, we're adults now, and they really need to keep our hearts because, I mean, we grew up with them, and lately they haven't been the best, in my opinion. But I wish they would be like they would have been years ago, and hopefully Kimishima takes them on that route. So that's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah, I feel like he said that he kind of knew that the Wii U was going to be somewhat of not a complete success. So I think he will have the heart of Nintendo in his mind going forward, but at the same time bringing to the company what needs to happen to modernize it and to really bring it up to par with gaming industry standards and what they need to do to succeed with all the other console makers, because you really have the only good way to get good consoles is when like the PS4 and Xbox One have been competing with each other so hard. And I think, you know, when you bring the Nintendo's next console in, like they're going to be competing as well. And if they're all good consoles, then their next priority is going to be nothing but great games to make you want to get those consoles. So yeah.
I mean, it's almost like they lost their motivation almost. Like nobody is going in their favor right now, and that's probably discouraging to anybody. Like if somebody's not on your side, of course it's never a good feeling. So I feel like if they did get their old fans back, even to switch to other platforms or even just new ones or old ones even that haven't really had a part in their company that much up until recent, I mean, hopefully that gives them a little bit more motivation to keep doing what they do best. So
which is making great games.
Exactly. Sunshine 2, please. Just
Sunshine
saying.
2. I would
Needs to
so.
happen.
Or Mario Galaxy 3.
Yes, or that. I'd for Sunshine right now, though. But it would be cool either way. I'd be happy with either.
They need to make sure that one thing I think we missed talking about is making sure that they have to have a great lineup for the NX when they release, because when
that's what the Wii U messed up on very badly.
When the Wii U came out, within the first year, I only had 2 games, and that was Nintendo Land, which is what came with the Wii U, and New Super Mario Brothers. And the next game I did not get was, I think, either New Super Luigi U, because I think that came out the next August, or like the Wind Waker HD. So I'm pretty sure, like, you know, the next time I didn't buy a game was until the next year of it. So yeah. So games.
Yeah.
Good launch set of games. Mario. We're gonna have at least the Legend of Zelda. We know for a fact because they're probably gonna port over what's the Legend of Zelda Wii U to the NX. So great lineup.
4.
I wouldn't mind a Pikmin 4. I enjoy Pikmin.
They've announced it's like done with the development.
Ooh, really?
Yeah, you didn't know that? It was like 3 or 4 months ago even. They said it was almost done. So hopefully it's an NX launch title.
Animal Crossing home console game as well.
That isn't trash like Amiibo Festival hype.
Because, like, you know, they had it for the GameCube, they had it for the Wii, none for the Wii U, so hoping we get that for the NX as well. So yeah, the great launch lineup is something we need as well.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm hoping you guys really enjoyed this discussion. As always, leave your thoughts and comments down below. If you have anything you want to add on as well, or talk to us about, if you have any agrees, disagrees, or things we should have added in. Again, check the description below to have links to Mason's channel and his social media, because he is one of my best YouTube friends that I have on here, and I love chatting with him. Anything you want to say, Mason, to the viewers?
Thank you all so much for watching. Be sure to keep watching Christina's videos. They're always fun and entertaining. So yeah, thank you again for watching. Let us know what you thought down below in the comments, and it was fun. Thank you for having me.
No problem. I'm going to definitely have you on my channel for more videos. As well, if you're new to my channel, hi, my name's Christina. Make sure to click that subscribe button down below. It'll let you know when I post new videos, and also my social media as well. We could chat on there, and I will post about videos as well. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you for my next video. Bye.
Bye.